I am the big tank.
On the battlefield of life, nothing's harder than a tank. Yeah, have you ever met a man, hearts full of love, bigger than a tank?
Big tank.
He served in a few wars, he's a veteran that stands for a cause. For the best interviews and news, just keep it glued to the
Tank. I
tank.
am the tank. Big
Big
tank.
Tank Talk.
Tank.
Big Tank Talk.
Tank. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Big Tank Talk. Today we have the long-awaited pleasure of interviewing ToyExtraordinEire. You'll hear me referring to her by Erin the rest of the way. She was the guest I had scheduled following Christmas, but the heart attack and the surgery and all that, so we had to postpone it. Erin, it's really a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Big Tank Talk.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, every interview starts the same way, so tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be on Clapper.
Well, as Tank said, my name is Erin. I've been collecting now for 7 years. I came to Clapper about 2 years ago, I think. It'll be 2 years in April. And I got invited by a friend. And I really never showed my face on camera before. I was very, very shy and very awkward. And I finally decided to give it a shot. And here I am today.
And trust me, for a lot of us, we're happy you're here because what you do, you collect toys, that appeals to the kid in all of us. Like I told you when we were just talking before the interview started, some of the stuff you've done videos to show that you have has taken me back to my childhood, and that's a lot of years. So now, what's the very first toy you started to collect when you decided to be a collector? What's the very first toy you started with?
I actually started with Hug a Bunch. They're dolls from the 80s. It was this really creepy movie that I actually never saw the movie. I was born in 82. The movie came out in really early 80s, but I had the Taco Bell toys my mom found at a garage sale, and I realized that they made the actual dolls, so I wanted to try to get those for my collection. So that's what started it all.
And when did you realize that you were a collector or that you wanted to be a collector?
In 2018, I needed a hobby. I needed to keep my mind off of things. I actually lost my mom in 2016, so I thought it'd be a good way to kind of reminisce and bring back all the childhood memories. And I really didn't think this would take its life of its own, but it really did. So, seeing something and having that item makes you think of something that, hopefully good memories. And that's kind of how it started.
Paul wants to know what's the favorite toy you have that you own.
It'd have to be my Grimace stuff. Everyone loves my coworker, my pet monster, but it's definitely Grimace.
Um, I know you said you've lost your mom, but what's the rest of your family think of you being a toy collector?
They get a kick out of it. They really enjoy it. It's kind of funny because I taught my kids kind of like how to find a deal and all that stuff, and it runs kind of in the family. My grandparents actually owned an antique store, so I've seen it my whole entire life. So they kind of get a kick out of it because I was the one that was like, I'm never going to do this stuff. I like the stuff, but I don't want to do anything with it. And now
Right.
I'm now I'm in it.
Well, it sounds like something fun to do, that's for sure. Iron Man Mike asks, "What's your biggest collection?" And I'll modify his question just a little. What's your biggest collection within your collection?
It would have to be obviously my McDonald's stuff. That is the largest collection because that's the one that gives me the most memories with my childhood, is because everyone had a Happy Meal toy, at least one. So yeah, that's my largest. And my second largest is probably My Little Pony. At one point I had 500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And now, what's the oldest item that you have in your collection?
It would have to probably be something from the 70s. it'd probably have to be my Evil Grimace hand puppet. It's from 1971.
So I'm older than your oldest toy. Good to know.
Sorry.
Ronan, no, that's fine. Ronan asked, "Have you ever opened a new old toy and smelled it just to remind yourself of what that time smelled like?"
Absolutely, yes. But it had to be a really bad roached box or something that wasn't worth a lot of money because I don't want to take away a value of something. Because I'll give you an example, like a My Little Pony brand new on box. I have one. I got it for my birthday a few years back. It's like $100 some, $125, I think. But out of the
Right.
box, it'd be like $10. So I have to really pick and choose what I want to do.
Right. Um, when you're collecting these toys, are you collecting genuines or do you collect like knockoff of popular toys?
I do both. It kind of is whatever I find in the wild and what like kind of like at that moment what I really like. Oh my gosh, I have to have that. So I do have a few. I have a My Little Pony knockoff. I have a couple of those, and then I have an ET knockoff. So yeah, I like the knockoffs just as much as I do the regular toys, but there really isn't that many knockoff McDonald's stuff. I'd love to find something like that.
Right. Do you how do you feel about variants? In other words, same toy but different packaging or different painted differently or something.
I like just having I don't need all those variants. Like at one point I was trying to, and then that's just way too much. So I just collect what I really, really enjoy because if not, I'd be going down a rabbit hole for everything.
Is there like I'm going to ask this specifically, and then I'll explain what it means. Is there a holy grail item that you're looking for? That means it's one like the ultimate thing that you could add to your collection that you still haven't gotten but you want.
As of right now, no, I have all of my stuff, but there, well, yes, there is a holy grail. I want to get a piece of McDonald Land. One of the rides or one of the characters. That's like my holy grail that I don't have, and I know that that's definitely a wish list.
Now,
But yeah, so that is like a holy grail thing, but like just like toys themselves, I've gotten my holy grails. That's why I was like a piece of McDonald Land would be like the ultimate.
right on. Now, Chuzzlebug, which is my sweetheart, Tabby, wants to know, do you have a favorite My Little Pony?
Actually, I don't. It's kind of funny. I'm really bad like with the names. I just look at them. I'm like, oh, they're so cute. So I if I had to pick a real like genuine like my favorite, it would have to be the original one that they did prior to My Little Pony, which I wasn't even aware of until I watched Toys. It was like Toys Time for God or something. It was on Netflix, and they had the big. It was a big pony like this, and it was a plastic one and they made two. They made a brown one and a pink one, and I got the original, so that would probably be like my like favorite pony.
Cool. Iron Man Mike says, excuse me, do you play with any of your toys or your collection? And if so, which one is your favorite to play with?
I really don't. I look at them. I like if there's like a function that it does, like I'll do videos. So like you guys will see some of the videos that I do with the interacting of the toy. So if it does something, yes. But like I don't like do pretend play or anything like that.
I'm going to get to Ronan's question in a minute, but I want to ask this one. Do you have a dedicated toy room in your house?
Well, I have my home office where you guys see this is where I usually do most of my lives. I do have all these toys here, but my actual main part where I have everything is in my basement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ronan
It's
asked, did you collect the McDonald's Flintstones glasses and mugs? He says he has them and he never uses them.
Oh yeah. No, I don't nope, I don't have any of the Flintstone ones. I've seen them. They're really cool. It's just I'm not really big into the Flintstones, so I don't have them personally. So it's like if I really, really like something, like I'm really mainly focused on the characters themselves. So I do have like the character glasses, but like anything like McDonald's related, I don't have a cup because I'm really more focused on the characters.
That makes sense. Um, Tabby wants to know, do you still play Lorcana?
Oh yeah. Yep. I actually missed this weekend because I went to visit Esther, but I do. I have a bunch of pins and cards and stuff. I have a lot of fun. Yeah, it's over. Gosh, I've been playing that almost, I think, 2 years now.
I've never even heard of it. That shows you how with it I am, right?
It's a trading card. It's a trading card game. It's like Magic, but Disney
Now,
character.
Magic I'm familiar with, but okay. Baloney Man wants to know, Officer Big Mac or Carl Winslow, who would you hire as your professional bodyguard?
Of course, Derek would ask that. Oh my goodness. So if it was Officer Big Mac, I don't know. I think I'm going with Officer Big Mac because he's cooler looking.
That's fair. Um, do you what in they call it hunting in the wild, which means going out to stores and such to find them, or do you prefer buying online?
I prefer going and doing like the thrill of the hunt. I love a good flea market. I'm always at flea markets every weekend in the summer, and garage sales, like you name it, good like the thrift stores. I love it all. If I need to find a particular piece, I will go on eBay. Like the stuff like I did do the Australian McNugget buddies and the UK McNugget buddies. I did buy those off of online, but everything else I try to keep it like that it's not online just because I don't know what I'm looking for anymore.
Right. Paul wants to know if there's a toy you've wanted to add to your collection that you couldn't add.
Not really. Just the McDonald land, like the actual playland itself. That I definitely want to, but I don't know, one, if I have the room, or two, if I have the money to do so.
Have you made like what you would consider a lifelong friend since you started toy collecting through the
Yeah.
hobby?
Yes, I've met actually a few in the toy community itself. Yes, I've met a lot of people online. I have not met them in person yet. I do have friends I've been friends with now for about 6 to 7 years now on the other social media apps. But here on Clapper, I've actually met a few people and in person. So it's really cool.
And a follow up to that, have you encountered many toxic people in the toy collecting community?
Not really. I choose to put myself in a little kind of bubble. There are a few people that I've had like comments on videos like grow up, stuff like that, but I'm like, okay, thanks. So yeah, I just kind of stick to myself and everybody's been so kind. So I really and if they are negative, I just kind of like, you're not in my space, so we're good.
That's a smart thing to do, though.
Hmm.
Painted Memories, which is our dear friend Tina, wants to know what's your favorite dinosaur.
It would have to be the actual dinosaurs from the 90s, that actual show. I have the McDonald toys.
Oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
And Tabby wants to know, do you have any of the Disney plates McDonald's gave out?
I do. I have the Hercules plates.
Awesome. Iron Man Mike wants to know, how can we help you grow your collection? Which toy is currently on your radar that you don't have?
Um, I don't really have anything on my radar except for the international toys, and I know those are very hard to come by. I did have somebody reach out on social media to me that lived a state over that actually had international toys. So if you have international toys that are characters, that's what I'm looking for. But obviously, if it's out of the country, it's kind of hard because the shipping is so expensive, and obviously with the
Right,
tariffs and stuff, yeah. So it'd have to be within the United States, just because obviously I don't want to pay more in shipping than the item's even worth, because some of these toys are only a couple dollars, so it's kind of silly to pay a lot
right.
of money for shipping.
Yeah, it'd be silly to pay an outrageous price for shipping and the toy's not worth what you paid the shipping on it. Uh,
Exactly.
Loved by Joseph 76, which is our good friend Tanya, wants to know, do you collect Barbies?
I do. My favorite are the 60s and 70s Barbies because that's what my mom collected. And then I have a few 80s and 90s Barbies that I really love. So yeah, I definitely collect Barbie.
Yeah. Tina wants you to know she's trying her best not to ask about any questions about adult toys.
Well, thank you, Tina. I appreciate I
Uh,
appreciate that.
Paul asked, what's the most you paid for a toy?
The most I paid was probably about that would probably been my McDonald Land characters. It was a Remco playset. I bought the playset and all of the characters all at once at a toy store because I had to have the original McDonald Land. So yeah, that was probably the most expensive at once.
Understandable. Iron Man Mike says he's got friends in China and Vietnam. So if there's a toy in those countries, tell him the name of it, and he can have his friends search for you.
Ooh, thank you. I appreciate that. It would be anything. I don't have anything from either like those countries. I don't have anything from there. So any kind of McDonald Land characters themselves, that's exactly what I'd be looking for.
Before I get to Tabby's question, do you have any dedicated toy hunting partners?
I don't. I wish I did. I don't. Yeah, I don't really like. I have friends that actually like do garage sales and stuff, and I'm sure Esther will be looking for me and stuff. But I don't have any like dedicated people that are like, I have to find stuff for you.
I just noticed Iron Man Mike said he gave you a follow. And guys, if you're not already following Erin, she is an absolutely amazing person. That smile is always there. She is as pleasant as anyone you'll ever meet on Clapper. She's definitely a good one to
Thank
follow.
you. Thank you. I
Having said
appreciate
all that, Tabby wants to know, are there any Beanie Babies among your collection?
The only Beanie Babies I have is from 2004, and it's the McDonald, like, they're not the ones that we're all thinking of. They're the anniversary toys that actually have a little patch on them. They're all little bears, and each one is a McDonald character. So you have Hamburglar, Birdie, and they're all kind of dressed up, but they're all Beanie Babies. But that's the only Beanie Babies I have in my collection.
That's cool. Tina wants to know, what is your favorite toy currently in the stores today?
It would have to be the Mini Brands series. I'm obsessed with any miniature stuff. Right now, they have what's called Fill the Fridge, and there's all these little pieces and stuff that you can put in the refrigerator, or you can have their appliances. And I'm obsessed with everything. And you don't know what you're getting either. So they're
Right.
all mystery toys. So you can end up with the same like thing. I think I have like five little drinks that I don't need, but yeah, I'm obsessed with that.
Now, this is a good question from Paul, and I'm sure it. And after I ask a question, I'll explain why I like the question. He
Okay.
says, "Is there any toy from the UK you'd like to have in your collection?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any of those. Yeah, I mean, I would love any type of McDonald care or any type of thing. It's so hard to get a hold of those. Like I said, the only thing I have from UK are the McNugget Buddies, and they were called Sport Buddies, and they're from 1992. So other than that, I don't have anything from anywhere out of the United States.
Now, the reason I like that question, Paul plans to come back and visit the state. He was here in October for a wedding. He plans on coming back this summer. So if there's something he can pick up before he comes, I'm sure he'll be happy to bring them so they can be shipped to you from within the United States and
Cool.
not have to pay outrageous shipping on it. I'm
Well, I
sure that's what
appreciate
Paul
that.
had in mind on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you.
All right, Jake, we asked this before the interview started, but I'll ask it again. He said he has a Wonder Woman Barbie, and that's from the '70s. If you're interested, and he knows Wonder Woman isn't your niche.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not really into Wonder Woman. I do, like I said, I only have a few Barbies. I collect the ones from the 60s and 70s, and then of course I have my 80s and 90s ones I played with as kids that I recollected. But Wonder Woman's really cool.
Tina wants to know, what do you think is the worst toy that came out?
The worst toy. I really don't know. I mean, some of the ones. Oh, actually, I think I know. The ones that are based on memes. Those ones kind of throw me off. I don't understand some of those, but I can't say they're the worst because it's really not my generation. But those are pretty bad.
Okay, what do you enjoy more? Searching for the toys you want to get and add to your collection, or actually owning them?
That's a good question. I do love the thrill of the hunt, and you get like that like really exciting feeling once you find it, and then you're just like, oh, now what? Now I gotta move on to another one. But I really do enjoy having it in my collection because once I found my grails and everything, I couldn't believe even own them. So like I just stare at them and I'm like, I can't believe I actually own this. So it's probably what's in my collection the most.
Okay. What do you have in your collection that you would consider to be the most unique or weird item?
Probably my evil Grimace. He's got 4 arms.
Um, how do you feel about prototype toys or unpainted toys, stuff that was never, I like to call it the prototypes before they actually get out on the market.
I have actually two. I have two McDonald toys. I have a Cabbage Patch, but it's a McDonald's toy. It's from the Happy Meal. It's for the holidays from the 90s. And then I have a Birdie toy, which was like a racer. So I do have a couple of things. I know those are very hard to find, but also, too, it's hard to tell what a prototype actually is. So I wouldn't know what to look for. So I'd be afraid that I'd be spending all this money and not know if it's a legit prototype. But I think they're really cool.
That does make sense, though. Yeah, but it would be cool to have a prototype or something. Like, can you imagine if you had like a prototype for Barbie when they first came out?
That would be
That'd be
fantastic.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. I think, yeah. I think you'd just fall on the ground and be like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Tina wants to know how you feel about slime.
Oh, I love slime.
Paul says, "Do you collect anything that people wouldn't think of collecting?"
Not really. I don't really collect anything like that I would think would be like out of the ordinary. I do have a lot of paper stuff from like McDonald's, like some of the food, the wrappers and stuff. So I guess that the wrappers.
Um, how do you explain your collection and your desire to do it to someone who doesn't seem to get it?
I just say, like anyone that goes out to eat, like you're going out to eat, it's gone. Like me, I'm at least investing in something, whether it's a good investment or not. I mean, at least I have something to show for it. I mean, yeah, eating out is fun and stuff. Going to restaurants is fun, but I mean, at least I have something to show for it. That's how I explain it to everyday people that kind of think it's silly. I just say,
Right.
well, you go out to restaurants and you go all and like have these like drinks and stuff and think it's fun. So I'm like, why not? At least I have something to show for it. Not dogging on them. I'm just saying when I try to explain to them why I do it.
So it's fair to say that you consider your collection an investment then.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I'll tell you why. This you recognize a Zippo lighter?
Mhm.
I have about 40 of them. And a lot of people collect Zippos. What makes it interesting that I collect them is I do not and have never smoked.
Oh, okay. That's
I
pretty
collect
cool.
I collect them, but there's a rarely occasion where any of them gets used. So I get it. I get what you're saying.
That's really
Uh,
cool.
Paul,
I like that.
Paul Paul says you mentioned the dinosaurs collection you have. Have you got the talking baby one?
I don't know. I just have the McDonald toys. I just do the smaller stuff. That one, the talking one, is actually pretty. I think it's worth a good amount of money if it works. So yeah, no, I don't have that one, but yeah, I have the McDonald toys.
Good question, Tina. She wants to know what you think about McDonald's image change, taking out play places and fun decor.
That saddens me very much so. I would love to be able to go to a play place or see the characters. Like it just looks like just a business office building. It just doesn't look fun. So it's not inviting anymore.
I understand. This might be maybe I don't know if you've been asked this before or not. If your toys came to life, toys like in Toy Story, which
Yeah.
one would be the leader? Which one of your toys would be the leader?
That's great. Well, everyone would want, obviously, Ronald is the leader of the McDonald land, but I would pick Grimace. I would love him to just be goofy and happy all the time. And but we all really know it's going to be Ronald, but I'm going to say Grimace.
And just so you know, Ronan called that before you said Grimace. He said he put in Grimace in chat.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
because they know I'm obsessed with Grimace. He's like my best friend.
Tanya asked, do you have any of the Muppets that McDonald's had?
I do. I have the plush Muppet Babies, and I have both Muppet Baby sets, and then I also have the Canadian release of Animal because we didn't get it in the United States.
Cool. What would you say is the ugliest thing in your collection that you refuse to get rid of?
The ugliest. Well, if it was up to Esther, it'd be my Ronald stuff because that they are pretty creepy. I don't. I like to think my stuff is creepy but cute, and a lot of people don't like my Teddy Ruxpin. They think he is creepy, but I need to keep him forever because he he works and everything. So I think I'm gonna go with Teddy Ruxpin.
That's cool. Do you ever talk to your toys?
I don't.
Some people do.
If I hit into something or if I like drop something, I might say, oh man," but no, I don't. Yeah, no.
What is the best toy as a gift you've ever been given?
What? Usually it comes from my husband for like my gifts and stuff. He just recently for my past birthday, he got me the PJ Barbie from 1982. So, and it's a new in box, so that was really nice. So that's
That,
probably yeah.
it's awesome that he supports your collecting of the toys too. I like that.
Well, thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
Jake asks, have you ever put an Ozzy Osbourne tape inside your Teddy Ruxpin?
When I was little, I would put different tapes into it, but I'm afraid if I put anything in there besides what's supposed to be, I will break it, and because it's over 40 years old, so I don't want to, I don't want to jinx it.
Tanya asked, do you have any Star Wars from the early years? Any Star Wars toys?
Not at the moment, no. But when I was reselling, I sold for 3 years. I did have stuff in my collection, and I did resell it. But yeah, I did have it at one point, but not anymore.
Is this collection something you intend to pass on to your children?
No, I don't. My kids won't want it. No, my son is really my son is really big into Pokemon, and my daughter used to collect different things. But yeah, no. This will have to be either I like start partying with things as I get older, or it's gonna go to them and they're gonna have to figure it out.
So Tina wants to know, if you knew she was coming, would you bake a cake in a microwave oven? And she said it's in your micro bake.
If I had one, and the sad thing is, Tina, I don't have an easy bake oven because of the fact is I can't eat anything. I'm dairy free and gluten free, so I don't have one, and I really would love to do that. But yeah, if you were coming, I would definitely buy one and make you one.
Now, since you're a person who collects toys, do you believe there's a limit to how many toys one person should own?
No, no, I think it's until your heart's content. As long as you're able to afford your living and like you're taking care of your business, like I don't think it's bad to have. I don't think that there's a limit on collecting. You can have one piece, you can have 10 pieces, 1,000 pieces. It's all up to you. I just don't like when, for me personally, I'm not going to collect something just to put it in a tote. Unless I had a smaller space, I would then rotate everything. So I don't think there's a limitation.
Jake noticed your Back to the Future shirt, and he wants to know, do you have any Back to the Future toys?
I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. I'm looking at that Mattel Creations. They came out with a Polly Pocket for Back to the Future, and I want to get that eventually.
You ever have, because you display your toys, correct? You ever have a display break or fall?
Yes. Actually, it wasn't the display that fell. It was me with my butterfingers hitting into something when I was trying to move it, and it fell to the ground and a couple toys crashed to the ground. And they're brittle because they're older. And yeah, sadly, RIP to my toys. Yeah, it was sad.
What's the furthest you've traveled for a toy?
It was for a high chair. I traveled 4 hours. It's what my my pet monster sits in. My high chair. I drove 2 hours one way and 2 hours back.
Well, if it was worth it, it was worth it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they only charged me $30, so I couldn't complain.
No, that's not bad. Do you have anything in your collection that you use special lighting for when you're displaying it?
No, I don't really do any of that just because I have an unfinished basement, so I really don't like hang out there only in the when it's nicer outside because it's kind of chilly right now. But yeah, none of the stuff I really put any special lights on or anything like that.
Okay. Tanya wants to know, do you collect board games, and if so, which is your favorite?
I do. I have a ton of board games, but they're all children's board games. They're from like the like 80s and 90s, like that we grew up with. My favorite, I don't think I have a favorite. Unless well, I had a favorite growing up and I do have it in my collection, so I'll say that one. Pretty Princess.
Can't say I've ever heard of it, but you know, when I was a kid, pretty princesses weren't a thing for me.
You're
Um,
It's a game where you just basically spin this little thing and then you get each piece of jewelry. And once you get the crown and all the pieces, you shout out pretty princess.
I want to know how much do you, roughly speaking, how much do you think you spent on your toy collection so far?
I have no idea. It's been almost 8 years. I have no idea. I'm sure it was a lot.
So Jake asked, how many glowworms do you have?
I have 8.
That's a good number. Um, we're only like at the halfway point, but is there something in your collection you'd like to show us?
Sure, if you want to see my coworker, you can see him. Let me flip it over here. Let's see. Oh, I will flip here. Here's my coworker. I'll get closer.
No.
Here, unplug that. This is the high chair I drove 4 hours for. But here
Oh,
he is.
that's cool.
Here's my little coworker. Everyone loves him. They call him Maurice.
Oh, I like him too. Very cool.
There he is. But yeah, this is the other side that you don't see when I'm talking during the lives. And this is
Yeah,
what this is.
You do have a lot of McDonald's stuff.
Here's the Lurkana stuff that you can win. I mean, you were asking about the what was it? That's like the little card game, and that's like stuff we got
Right.
graded. Yeah. But yep, that's my stuff.
Wow. When you're organizing your toys, do you go by um like like all McDonald's toys in one area? All do you separate them that way, or do you do them by size? Or
I try to do it by like theme, just because I like to have them all together. Like I have the shelf behind me that's all Grimace. All the McNuggets are up there. So yeah, I like to try to keep them all themed because when I'm trying to find something, especially if I'm doing a video, I'm like, where is this thing?
Bugs wants to know if you've been to a toy or card convention.
I have. I just went to one yesterday.
Oh, cool. I've never been to anything like that, but I bet it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. They had 140 vendors there yesterday.
Have you ever collected anything other than toys?
Through the years, yes. I've collected dolls, precious moments, all sorts of stuff. I've always been a collector of something, but when my kids were little, I really didn't collect, obviously, because I was busy with the kids. But when they got older is when I started collecting.
Jake asks, have you ever bought anything that you felt necessary to disinfect after you got it?
Oh yeah. Anything from the flea market, you definitely need to clean. I got baby wipes, and then the baby wipes and magic eraser are my best friend.
Oh yeah, we use those both a lot in this household too, so that makes sense. When you as you're building your collection, do you base it more on nostalgia or just the aesthetics of the toys, the appreciation of how they look? Or
It's more of how they look or as if I grew up with it. Like it really just depends like how like if it's calling to me. I mean, I saw a lot of really cool stuff yesterday, but I think now because I've been collecting for so many years that it's like, oh yeah, I don't like that it's like oh, that's nice. Like that's cool. But it's like if somebody like just everyday person that doesn't collect, they would go in there and their mind would be blown. So it's like,
right.
it's like it really has to call to me for me to be like, I'm going to pay full price because I'd rather just find it in the wild.
Sounds like you kind of use it's based on both nostalgia and aesthetics.
Yep.
That's really cool. I like that. Um, is there a movie or a cartoon in the past that inspires you to go out and collect figures or toys based on them?
Oh, I love Muppet Babies. So yeah, I definitely collect. That's my other collection that I started a couple of years ago. That any Muppet Baby stuff, yeah, I definitely and any Muppet related to everything. It's like that show. It's like I'm repeating my head forever.
Uh, Bet you I am Beck, which is our friend Becky, a dear friend, wants to know how much strawberry shortcake do you have?
I actually don't have any. I ended up reselling all of my strawberry shortcake. It's very easy to come by in Ohio because that's where it was manufactured. So like it's you can find strawberry shortcake like crazy here. So well, plus I'm not really big into strawberry shortcake, so I'd rather go give it make sure someone that has actually wants to collect it collects it. So I don't have anything in my stuff now.
Paul asks, what's the most you've seen a toy sell for that you thought was way too much to sell for?
Hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think there's really anything like just because it's not my cup of tea, I can't really like, say, oh, that's not worth it. It's worth what
Right.
anyone's willing to pay for their childhood. I mean, it's your memories. So whatever you think it's that value is what you're willing to pay. And if someone's willing to pay that kind of money, good for them. I mean, obviously that's not what I would want to do, but it really all depends too. I mean, if there's something that I grew up with and I couldn't live without it, I mean, it really just depends. I mean, but I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, how dare they?
Right. Um, I need to ask this before I forget. I'll get to Jake's question. Have you ever encountered somebody that seems to be unusually possessive of their toys?
Oh yeah. That's with any people, anybody that collects. Yeah, they're even it doesn't. It's any community that collects. It's not just the toy community, but yeah.
Uh, Jake wants to know, do you have and wear any wearable toys or memorabilia?
Yeah, I don't wear them out, but I do. I have a Watchable, which is a watch, which is a plush. It's really cute. I just did a video recently. There is things called a Sweet Secrets. They turn into accessories that you can wear. So, and they're little foldable. They look like little transformer stuff that you can fold in and become a little piece of jewelry. So yeah, there's stuff that I've worn for videos, but not like out and about.
I have to mention these comments. Bugs said she once got yelled at by a Monopoly collector. And Ronan said he searched for years for the original Looney Tunes glasses, and his favorite is Sylvester.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool.
Emma White, this is an interview, and you are not my guest. I'm not bringing you up. If you want to participate in the chat, you're welcome to do that. Uh, Bet you I am Beck says, has it become like a family affair? Like your whole family's in on it?
Yeah, so when the kids were younger, now they're older, they have things going on like working, stuff like that. But yeah, we used to go all the time to the flea market every weekend. We'd all go together, hunting for stuff that we knew each other would like. And oh yeah, it used to be really big, but now it's like they're older, So I just pretty much go myself unless it's like an event and then I say, hey, you guys would like to come. And then if they want to, great. If not, yeah. But yeah, when they were younger, we did a lot of family stuff.
I bet it was a blast too.
Oh
Um,
yeah, we had a lot of fun.
which of the things in your toy collection is most sentimental to you?
It would probably have to be my probably my Grimace, just because of just how much memories I have from a kid. When I was really little, I had a memory of sitting at Grimace's table in McDonald's. So
Mhm.
like when Tina asked that question about like how do you feel about it being changed, it makes me sad because we actually had a Grimace table, and I sat at his feet, and it was like this really tall, it was probably like 6 foot. It was huge, and I just remember that. So like that's what makes me like think like why I have those like memories, because I think, and why I love him so much is because of like sitting there with my mom, and I ate my meal at the Grimace table.
Has there ever been a toy that you really wanted to get to add to your collection and something happened and you ended up not being able to get it?
No, because I don't there's not really anything that I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have to have." I kind of just waited it out. There were some things like the pre-orders, like newer toys that like the pre-order didn't happen, and then I was bummed I didn't get it, and then had to pay a little higher after the fact that I was bummed about, but I eventually got it, so it wasn't really too big of a deal.
Okay. Paul wants to know, do you geek out when you find a toy you've wanted?
Oh, for sure. Yes, yes. I try not to geek out too much so I don't embarrass myself, but yes, yes I do.
Bug wants to know, do you have any of the Fry Guys?
I do. I have the flat plush that look like the pillows, and then I also have the whole entire collection of the Fry Kids from the McDonald's Happy Meals.
Nice. Jake wants to know, are you missing any toys from a set that you want?
Not really. I have pretty much all the sets that I like need, but like I said, anything from like the international stuff is what I'm missing, pretty much.
Here's a good question. With all the stuff you have in your toy collection, how hard is it to keep ahead of the dust?
But, oh, it's horrible. Yeah, it's bad. I have to dedicate like some time because I have to move everything. Just yeah. It's a whole day.
How many things just if you know off the top of your head, would you say that you have in your collection that are mint toys?
Mint toys? Oh
Yeah,
geez, that I have no idea. Because I like to buy you. Obviously, they're mostly are used. I would just say there's a handful of mint stuff. I have a few things in box, but not. I'm not a box collector, so there's maybe under 10 that are actually like if you were a collector to look at and say it's mint, it'd probably be about 10 things.
that sounds fair. Do you have a set toy budget per month?
I do. I do. Yeah, cuz like I said, I'm the only collector in the house right now that like, well, cuz my son, he does his own thing. He's a teenager, so he's got his own
Right.
thing. But yeah, I make sure I don't go too crazy anymore.
I'm sure that makes it easier for your husband to support you doing it too.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Paul asks, are there any toys you still have that are still boxed that you're proud to display?
I have a Barbie, the one that I just got for my birthday. That one's the PJ. And then I have a brush, and I think it's like a brush and pull pony. It's like her hair grows. That one I got for my birthday probably about 5 years ago. And then do I have anything else? And then I have my Ronald, but he's not brand new in box, but he is in box. And you guys probably saw that video just recently because I just posted that one.
Jake wants to know, what's the rarest toy you own?
That would have to be the evil Grimace. He's very hard to come by because they didn't make too many toys, and that's why I was obsessed with getting him, because he's from 1971 and he's a hand puppet and he's plastic.
Nice. What are your thoughts on toys that they call retro style?
Oh, I love them. I have those in my collection too. I love the fact that we are all reminiscing and reliving our childhood, and they call us adult collectors, and they just are doing those to basically like because they know that we all have the means to do it. So I mean, I love it. I mean, you can either get the original for like hundreds of dollars, or you can get a retro toy between $20 and $30, and that's easier to do.
Right. Becky wants to know, what's the oldest toy that you own?
Probably my McDonald Land characters. They're from the 70s.
And I had a question and it just went away.
Aw.
Anyway, do you like when you're displaying them? Is there a limit per shelf? Are you worried about things being displayed that don't get seen, or
No, no. I try to tier them, try to make them look like, try so I could see them. But yeah, I know I have limited space, so I gotta. It's sometimes like a puzzle.
Esther asked, to be honest, is the Clapper Corner toy shelf your favorite?
It is. It's because everybody's helping me collect stuff that I would never think that I would collect. So yeah, I do. I enjoy it.
I remember the question, and I asked. It came to my mind because it's something I had as a kid, but you rarely see them anymore because they quit selling them because kids got hurt. You ever have or seen or have you added to your collection clackers?
Are those the ones that like you like spin around and like?
They're like the little hard balls on strings, and
Yep.
you
Yep.
yeah.
I've seen them. I don't own any, but yeah, those are cool.
Well, they went the way of lawn darts. When the people kids started getting hurt, they quit selling them, and you
Yes.
know,
Yep.
the further we get removed from them, the harder they are to find.
Yep. Lawn darts I see very seldom at the actually at the flea market, like the older ones, and because they are a recall toy, you can't sell them online or anywhere else, so people sell them in person at the flea market.
Yeah, I understand that.
Mhm.
Um, People were dying from the lawn darts, so I
They
understand
were.
that one.
That's
But
scary.
yeah, but I can understand kids getting hurt with the clackers too. I knocked myself in the head a few times with them, so
Oh yeah, that would hurt.
good thing I'm hard headed. I'll say that. Um, Jake wants to know, if you woke up in the 70s or 80s, what would be the first thing you would do?
Well, I would probably start watching cartoons and wait for my mom. Love to see her again and give her a huge hug. Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Peter Haywood asked, "Have you ever owned a Chucky doll from the Chucky movies?"
I just did an unboxing today that when we did my live, they voted on me to buy a Chucky Pop Mart figure. So yep, I finally own something Chucky.
Since we're here in Flapper, would you like to tell people what that's about so if they want to participate, they can?
Oh, sure. Thank you. So every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a little live stream that's called You Vote, I Buy. And every probably around Thursday or Friday, I put out a poll on my YouTube and everyone votes on what I buy. I pick 3 items and then basically it goes on a shelf afterwards. We unbox it, everything. It's a lot of fun. So I give everyone until like I think 2 o'clock to vote, and then we open the other toy in the meantime that you voted on the week before. So it's a lot of fun. Everyone seems to really enjoy it.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Are you a part of any social media groups like Facebook, or I don't know if there's any toy groups specifically on Clapper, but are you part of any groups like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm on pretty much every social media platform you can think of. But I am in a toy group that meets monthly. It's called Knee Attack. It's in my area. It stands for Northeast Ohio Toy and Community Club, and we meet once a month. And they set it up kind of like a mini toy show, and they trade. They have food there, drinks. It's a lot of fun, and it's free for everyone to come in. The only people that pay, they bring their own table. You bring your own 6 foot table, and the only people paying are the people set up for that month. And you get kind of like on a waiting list type thing, and it's a really good time. There's a lot of good people there, and yeah, they let you shop, and it's a lot of fun.
Do you have or would you consider adding 3D printed toys to your collection?
I do have a couple 3D like small like keychains. I'm more into getting like the actual toy itself, but I'm not opposed to getting something that's 3D because a lot of 3D printing stuff is expensive. I mean, they have to pay for the material. So I try to just stick with the stuff that's not too, that's reasonably priced because I know, and I'm not saying I would never do it. It's just more expensive.
I ask because I have a good friend on here. It goes by Shade Reaver. He owns 13 3D printers, and I've gotten three 3D printed dragons from him.
That's cool.
He does really phenomenal work. That's why I had to ask about it. If you don't mind, at this point, I want to announce that next week my guest will be Ankles 2.0. For those of you that don't know or don't know her, Ankles is the person who purchased the recliner I'm sitting in after my open heart surgery. Because I need, my surgeon told me one of the requirements when I came home was if I'm not actively exercising or like washing dishes or doing something around the house, I need to be sitting with my feet up. And you wouldn't think that would be such a problem to do if you don't have a recliner, but it is.
Yeah,
She was generous enough to do that, and next week she'll be my guest here on Big Tank Talk.
that's wonderful.
So, how do you decide when it's time for a toy to leave your collection? Whether you sell it, give it away, or however it goes.
It's basically like if I don't have any connection with it or if I'm just like okay, I'm over it, it's time to move on. But most of the stuff that I've gotten like in the last couple of years has not left. But I did resell for 3 years, so it's kind of, I did have a bunch of stuff coming in and out. But yeah, right now I'm kind of content and I'm looking at pieces. I'm like, okay, is it time to let go right now? But I also look at right now, the toys are kind of like lower in value now than they were when I bought them. So I'm kind of like trying to feel out like when the best time is to do it. So I'm not in a rush to get rid of anything.
That makes sense. Jake wants to know: do you have any MTV Max Headroom toys?
I don't. That would be really cool, but I don't. Yeah, the only MTV thing I have is a pop, actual like Funko Pop that says I want my MTV.
Oh, cool. Peter Haywood's asked: do you have any toys from horror movies like Hellraiser, for example?
I don't have any type of horror movies. People would think that like my my creepy stuff is horror, but no, I don't have anything like that at all. It's really cool though. I do like those collections.
When you look at vintage toys, do you prefer plastic, resin, or die-cast metal?
I prefer plastic just because that's the easiest to clean, the best to take care of. I don't really know if there's any type of resin stuff, but yeah, I like mostly plastic. It's easiest to take care of.
Oh, that absolutely makes sense. This Piano Mike came in, and welcome in, Piano Mike's good to see you, brother. As you know, Aaron, Piano Mike was my guest last week, and I always enjoy talking to him. He's a great guy. Becky wants to know: do you have any one of those old big wheel bikes?
That would be amazing. No, I don't. Thank you, Jake.
That Jake, that was awesome. That was a good look for you, Aaron. Just want
Thank
you to know.
you, Jake.
Um, do you once you collect a toy, do you ever consider making any modifications to it, making it weathered or anything like that?
I'm not very good at that stuff. I just when I first started Clapper, I would go on live and do like do their hair and stuff and like make it like change like do their hairstyle, but not yeah, no, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So if like I can fix their like I can like make their fur not as matted, so I can like brush stuff out, but
Right.
not actually modify anything. No.
I understand. Paul wants to know: is there a new collection for you in the future?
Probably the mini brand stuff because I really enjoy collecting the mini brands. So yeah.
Okay. I'll ask this because my girls had them. You got Polly Pockets in your collection?
I only have one. I have the one that's the retro one, and it is of the what is it? Clueless. That's what it is. Clueless stuff.
Right.
So I really do. I like I said that Back to the Future has a Polly Pocket. So, but yeah, I'm not really big into Polly Pocket because I collect so much. So I just try not to collect everything, but I do really appreciate Polly Pocket and enjoy it.
Do you photograph your collection? Take pictures? So
Oh yeah, I'm really big onto Instagram and Facebook, so I post, and then obviously with clubs coming up, I've been posting there all the time too. So I post pictures like once a day. Yeah.
yeah, Peter had asked if you collect board games, and she had already told us that she does.
Yeah.
If you were interested about whether she had a particular board game, that would be a good question to ask. However, um, if you could, all right, you seem to have a particular fondness for McDonald's toys. If
Yeah.
you could design a McDonald's toy for kids meals and for your collection even, what do you think it would be? How would you do it?
Oh
Or have
wow.
you ever thought about it?
That's a great question. No, I never really thought about it. It would definitely have to be the characters, and it'd have to be something interactive like the Changeables or the McNuggets or something. I would really love them to do the McNugget buddies. I know that they did Ronald, the one Ronald by himself, like as the McNugget buddy for a Halloween. I would love to see all the characters as McNugget buddies. I think that would be great.
That's cool. I think what he's asking is, do you have a backdrop you use for your photos?
I do. I have an actual backdrop. I use a like black tablecloth, or I also have a photo box that has all different colors. So depending on what I'm doing for that day, if it's a smaller toy, I put it in the actual light box. And then if not, I do have the backdrop because I do a lot of collaborations with companies that I'm not allowed to show backgrounds. So I have to have just a plain background. So that's why I just use the black tablecloth.
Makes absolute sense to me. Peter wants to know if you've ever had a Ouija board.
No. I wasn't allowed to have that as a child, and I do not want to mess with that stuff.
I'm going to combine Paul's question with the next one I had. His question is, do you enjoy showcasing your toys? I would add to that. And what has been the most rewarding part of collecting the toys for you?
So yeah, I do enjoy, yes, I love showing them off, and I do, that's why I put this behind me during my lives. At first, this wasn't up here when I first started doing lives, and I noticed that it catches people's eyes, so I really am happy that I did do that. And then the other part what was the other part you asked? I'm sorry.
What's been the most rewarding part of it?
Oh, the the interaction and the love that I share with everybody, that I get to talk to people and they tell me their stories. Like, to me, the most important is it's not me being like, look at me, look at me. It's more of, let's talk about it, let's have fun, reminisce. I love hearing people's stories. Like, I know that sounds silly, but I love it. Like, if this reminds you of childhood or something happens and sparks a memory, I love hearing those stories. Like, oh, my grandma gave this to me. Oh, my mom or dad got this for me, or a story with that. Like, I just love that so much, and I love that people love to share that with me because it brings me joy just to see their happiness.
All right, Bugs, the question you have pinned is going to be the last question from the chat. But before I get to that one, the flip side of the question, the last question I asked you, what's been the most frustrating thing about your toy collecting?
I don't think there really is a frustrating. I think it's more of me trying to get myself out there is more frustrating. It's not like anything to do with the toy community or anything like that, or just the toys themselves. It's more of like being able to get myself out there and try to, like, hey guys, like, this is me, like, just getting myself out there and being seen is probably the hardest part. And it's not that I'm like, ooh, like, I want all these people to follow me. It's not that at all. It's more of you work so hard on creating content that you want to be able to share it with people. And that's why I love Clapper so much when I like started, and I still do love Clapper, is that they give everybody the opportunity, and it didn't feel like I was getting that opportunity other places, to where it's like, if you spend so much time doing something, you really want people to enjoy what you're doing. And it doesn't feel like, it's like, it's not that I'm wasting my time. It's just more of like, it feels sometimes frustrating for that, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I absolutely get it. Bug says, you said you collaborate with companies. Which ones and for what?
So I think it was 10 of them last year. And they basically say, hey, we'll send you this item if you make a video or a post about it. And so that's what I do. The last collaboration I had was with Mini Brands, and they sent me their appliances. So I was able to do 3 reels on that. They only expected one, but I did 3 because each toy I wanted to give them its own video. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's basically if you ever want to do anything like that, even not with toys, but if you're on social media like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, I know I wish Clapper had more businesses on here. If you tag them in your stuff, they'll start noticing if you start tagging them in your things. And that's what I was doing. I was just tagging them in things I was buying myself. And then what they did was they started reaching out to me because they enjoyed what I was doing. And that's kind of your way of kind of getting in. It took a while. I'm not going to say like the first time you do it, it's going to happen, but just different items. I mean, it doesn't have to be a toy. It could be like a household item. So it's just kind of tagging them in it, saying how much you liked it. And they say, oh, this person loves our products. Let's
Right.
kind of send them something in return.
That absolutely makes sense. Um, Aaron, we could probably go another hour or two, but it's
Probably
been,
could.
it has been an hour. At this point, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to do a shout out completely of your choosing
For
for whatever you want, for something, a toy you have, for somebody that you want to show real appreciation for, anything. Just do a shout out.
Well, I appreciate that. There is a little small group of my friends that I do want to do a shout out because they are very supportive. They're always at my lives. They really pushing me to be like out there, which I really do appreciate. I don't know if they're in the chat, but I know I saw Esther and Derek, but so it would be E Lockwood Arts. She's amazing.
She
You
has,
know who she is.
oh
Um,
yes,
Baloney Man, which is Derek. They've actually really they're just very wonderful people and helpful. I mean, everybody is. I mean, I don't want to forget anybody. And then obviously Vintage Nostalgia. She also is she's one of my mods. Very great. They're always at my lives helping me out. But yeah, like Derek right there. They reached out to companies on my behalf and didn't have to do that. And they did it because they just wanted to. So, I mean, just wonderful people. So, but yeah, that's my little shout out to my little group of friends.
and that's as wonderful a shout out as anyone's done in any of my interviews, and I appreciate it. Aaron, you constantly take us back into our childhood. I think you reached the kid in all of us that we all still have within us. So I really, really appreciate you taking the time. Let me ask you the questions. I hope the nervousness went away right away,
Oh, it
because
did.
I do my best to make sure my guests are comfortable, and I don't ever ask gotcha questions. I don't believe in that. But I really appreciate you being here and taking the time, and I want to thank you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it too. And I'm so happy you're doing so well. Yeah, that just makes
Thank
me
you.
happy.
I'm happy. I'm kind of surprised at how good I feel, but I'm not. You know, I'm not going to say it's not. I eat healthy. Thank you to Tabby for that. And I'm exercising every day, and I'm doing the things that my doctors tell me I need to do I want to get back to good heart health and not have another heart event. I've
Yeah,
had plenty, and that's enough for me.
yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about you this whole entire time, and I'm just happy I get to talk to you one on one to to see that you're doing well and everything's doing wonderfully. So I'm happy.
I appreciate you. I'm glad you're my friend. And guys, if you're not following this wonderful young lady, give her a follow. You won't regret it. Trust me. Everybody that's here, that's been here throughout this interview, thank you for being here. These interviews are always interactive, and I couldn't have done it without you. And with that, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
Thank you.